Hi, this is Rob from Naked Vapor, and today we're going to run you through the Vivi Nova Tank system. We've got two here to look at today. We've got the 3.5mm version here, the larger one, and the smaller one is about a 2mm version. Each Vivi Nova kit comes with 3 atomizer heads, as we can see in the foam insert here. So we've got 2 on the right, and then there's one already fitted on the inside of the tank, so that's pretty much ready to go there. We're going to have a closer look at that, so will these work. Okay, so this is the small Vivi Nova Tank. This is the 2mm version. As you can see, it's well designed to fit an Ego battery quite nicely. I have got the adapter sleeve on here, and all this ring here does is just tidy up the connection between the tank and the body of the Ego battery. So if we just take that off, oh, she's a bit firm. And the ring's off. So this is how it would typically look without the ring. So basically the ring is really there for aesthetic purposes only. It may influence the draw a little bit, but there's probably a bit too much of a gap around the edges of it to influence the draw too much. But really it just tidies up just this little area in here effectively. So mounted on the battery there, we've got the Vivi Nova Tank obviously, and we'll just pull out the drip tip here, just hold everything to make sure everything's firm. And that's just a standard 510 drip tip, just like any other 510 drip tip effectively. So that frees you up to use your favourite drip tip if you so want to, and that gets us back down to the basics of the tank here. So if we have a look at the tank, it's really in a couple of sections here. We've got the top section here, just remove that. There is a screwed threading here, and that just pops off, and now we can have a look inside. So you can see down inside there, you can see the coil with the wire wrapped around it. So that is the wick from the outside that you can see there, the white material. Okay, so it's extending down on the outside there, and this is what wicks your e-liquid back up to the coil here. And the coil obviously, once we activate the battery, that gets quite hot, and that vaporizes the e-liquid, which would then come up the center tube here and through the drip tip into your mouth, of course. Now, should you want to change your tank assembly for one of the coloured options we can see in the background there, that's also very simple. All we have to do is just take off this outer plastic tube, and our coil is free, as we can see there. And then just take your pick from down here, grab your new metal tube, just make sure that your wick ends are fully and not going to get caught in the threading there, and then just screw it back together. That's how easy it is to flick it across to a new type of tank system. Finish that off, finish the lock, and there we have one tank completely changed over. It doesn't really get any easier than that now, does it? So the reason that you may want to do that, obviously it's going to be a lot more rugged being a metal tube. It's going to be very, very hard to crack or damage in any way. But primarily, some of the e-liquids that we do use can be detrimental to the tubing and will cause some cracking. So if you're using a metal tube like this, obviously the disadvantage is you can't see how much liquid you have left, but it is pretty easy to open her up and have a look, see what's going on inside. But primarily for the other e-liquids, and obviously just to make things a little bit tougher and a bit more robust. And there we have it. So that's the tube with the metal adapter on. We'll just pull that back off. Now we'll go through how we change one of the heads here. These heads are really, really simple. Just one thing I will point out, that we've got a brand new head on here that is dry. Okay, now if I accidentally press that button there, we could potentially dry burn the coil, so we obviously don't want to do that. Sometimes it's actually easier to work with the head on the battery for obvious reasons. You've got a larger thing to grab a hold of, I guess. But just put the battery into off mode, so just press the button 5 times quickly, and that turns the battery off, and now I can't accidentally press that and accidentally activate the button. So we've got our head back on there. Now I've got it fitted to an Ego battery, and the head that is actually fitted to this one is actually a 2.4 ohm head. Now all the coil heads actually give you a reading on them, so we can get in there and have a look at that. You can see there that it says 2.4 ohm just below. The silicon bit here is meant to be on there, okay, that provides a seal to stop e-liquid leaking up back through the drip tip, so you must leave that there. But this is where you find the ohmage rating of the head. Okay, and to remove these, it's pretty simple. Just grab the head itself. I'm just grabbing the silicon bits there, it's a little bit hard to see, I'm sorry. And you just unscrew it. You do have to put a bit of squeezy pressure on, and then you can see that's just coming away there now. And that's our head off. We'll get the head that I do want to use, which will be one of these ones down here. I want to use a 1.8 if I can find one. That's a 2.8, so that's no good to me. So the 2.4s and 2.8s are probably better suited to a variable voltage device. And we've got the 1.8 here now. We'll just put that back on. It's pretty easy to change the old head. And obviously if you need to wash them or flush them out or whatever, these are going to be quite easy to do that as well. We're going to put our standard clear tube back on. We're actually going to prime this and give this a bit of a run here in a moment. So we've got a bottle here, we've got our tangy fruit, proving very popular flavour at the moment. People are loving how accurate this flavour is. The original sweet when it was out back in the day, as a lot of us will remember. Okay, so I've got my bottle of tangy fruit here, and we're just going to fill this Clearomizer. It's pretty straightforward. Hopefully I've got about enough left in there to fill this little tank. And here we go. And basically all we want to avoid is getting any liquid down in the centre bit. Okay, this is where your air travels up, and if you get any liquid in there at any point or an excess, it'll gurgle and bubble away, and we don't want that. We definitely don't want juice in our mouth. It doesn't taste very nice, and if it's got nick in it, it can burn a little bit. But basically, yeah, we want a clean airflow as we draw through it. So we want to avoid getting too much e-liquid in there by accident. And that can just go down, straight down the side there. You'll see it's just going down the side. And you'll see these wicks will start disappearing very shortly. So they'll become quite transparent as they soak up the e-liquid. We'll go to the full tube. That's about right. And then what I personally do is I would also prime the inner coil. That's just me being a little bit impatient, and I just drop one single drop down into the centre there, and that just starts that wicking process. And we're good to go. Put the top section back on. And we'll give that a few moments to just start wicking properly. No, the wicks in these ones don't disappear, huh? You can still see them, obviously. A little bit harder to see, but some of them actually just about completely disappear. Right, we've got our tank full and it's ready to rock and roll, basically. I'll just bring it a little bit closer so you can hear what these things sound like when they're working really well. They should crackle and pop and carry on. Oh, yep. Should be able to hear that. Misting in the tank there a little bit. These do work quite well. Very clean, accurate flavour I've found. Easy to clean. The atomizer heads are cheap and easy to replace at about $3 or $4 each. I think we've got them out at the moment. I can only see those basically going down in prices as time goes on. Yeah, great little system. Fantastic. It does come with the 3 interchangeable heads here. The other higher resistance heads you may find are better suited to a variable voltage device, as I alluded to earlier. Some of you also may be quite new to this whole e-cigarette thing. I thought I'd just run through quickly just what a coil is and how they work. I sort of briefly touched on it just before. I've got another one here. This is a new tank that's will be coming out at some point once I get the design flaw fixed with them. But they also allow me to demonstrate a coil quite well. You can see our coil in between the 2 screws there. So those are our anode and cathode terminals, I'm assuming. I haven't had a good close look, but that's what they look like to be. And then you got your coil of wire wrapped around that wick, and you can see that wick has gone quite transparent there. This is a new type of tank that is on the market, but the ones we got didn't work so well, so we are not going to be releasing these at the moment. But so you can see the coil in there, and I'm just going to activate the button now. Oh, look at that, there you go. Produces oodles of vapour, and you'll see that wick looked like it dried a little bit there. We'll just try that again. So this is basically how an e-cigarette works. They all follow this basic principle. Coil of wire potentially wrapped around a wick, or a coil of wire that is close to e-liquid that is suspended in a media. Just run that coil again. Heaps and heaps of vapour. Awesome. So we'll just have a look at the size comparison between the two different types of tank we have here. Obviously on our left we have the 3.5mm version in blue. We have these in clear, red or blue, and we also have the 2mm version on the right here. They're also available in clear, red or blue, or you can additionally add the metal tank tubes to either design. And I think we've got the full range of colours available for each. So this has been Rob for Naked Vapor. Thanks for watching. Cheers.